Also, as we get into this, if you want to help support us, if you want to support specifically the Sparkling Tuna Cup, this is a weekly tournament, as you can see, for 93 weeks. For 93 weeks, the Sparkling Tuna Cup. We've been running this event for many years at this point. And if you want to help support this tournament, you can do so via Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. The Patreon is designed to fund our, not just Sparkling Tuna Cup, but also Masters 1 Open and Sea Duckling Open as well. Basically, all of our tournaments are funded via Patreon, so if you want to help us grow those tournaments, you can do so via the Patreon as we reach our next goals. So thank you so much to all of our current patrons. Thank you so much, and we appreciate the support. We do appreciate it. Thank you. As our tournaments have grown quite a bit over the past couple of months, so we do appreciate it. It's because of that where for a long time our tournaments were only top 2. Only top 2 players are being paid, but now thanks to the support on Patreon, top 4 semi-finalists get paid out as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to all those supporters on Patreon. As we jump into the grand finals this morning, in the right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our blue Protoss player. We have our South Korean Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, going for a fake proxy Rax. Oh, hold on. There's a lot going on. We have our South Korean Terran. We have our Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5. Let's go. We go. Oh, good morning. So stabby. Good morning. As ByuN, initially he was going for a fake proxy Rax, but he's going for a 2-Rax Reaper back at home. So 2-Rax Reaper is quite an aggressive start here, and we'll see what he can get done. herO, no probe scouts. Despite the fact that ByuN is being cheeky and that ByuN is kind of like hiding his Raxes and doing all these flips, doing all these tricks, herO doesn't even bother with a scout. herO doesn't care. herO going for a standard opener back at home. ByuN rallying out with those Reapers. CC on the low ground, and this is designed to get economic damage. This is designed to get some pro kills. We'll see what ByuN can accomplish. Also, if you want to help support our tournament here, not just via Patreon, but also Matcherino, exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat as well. We do have a Matcherino page for our tournament. Unfortunately, our tournament is not big enough to have any codes, so no codes on Matcherino, but you can support us there as well. Patreon will help support our entire tournament series and our weeklies and just all of our tournaments. The Matcherino is a way to boost the prize pool specifically for this tournament, for this weekly. For Sparkling Tuna Cup 93 specifically. Meanwhile, as we said, let's just a big shout out to Smile. Este Smile. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great, I'm assuming, ladder session or maybe some Zelda gameplay. I hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much, Smile. Este Fuego. And welcome to the finals. You tune in just in time for the grand finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, herO versus ByuN. I should also emphasize that the Reapers so far, they don't really get much damage done. They're being active, that's true, but being zoned away. herO, he will deflect. Behind this, ByuN rushing into a third TC. Very greedy here by ByuN. Third TC after the factory before the starport. This is a 3cc 2-on-1. Something you rarely see in this matchup. Okay, Let's go. So the greed is real. Because this setup as well, currently no tanks. We're going into faster stim though. We have the tech lab on the racks, going for a faster stim, going for a bio-heavy composition. herO likewise going for an economic opener as well. What do we have here? 2 gates. So 2 gates blink into a third. Much more economic, very greedy build by herO as well. So both players are being greedy. I would say that ByuN is going one step further though. Hallucination goes in. Hallucination does not confirm. Ooh, he fails to scout. Just barely is denied. He sees the 2-1 setup, and he knows that something is missing here. Something's not quite right. Now trying to keep up with the Reapers. And does keep up. Welcome, Llama. Sí, los llamas. As ByuN is being cleaned up. The Reaper Opener didn't really achieve too much here, didn't really get many worker kills, so far herO has had a stronger start. But we'll see if ByuN can get away with a third CC. So far building up, just now starting his own tank production, getting up to his second tank, stim is almost complete. herO likewise moving out. Bearing in mind that herO, he has no intention of breaking the defenses here of ByuN. He does test the waters, leaves out a Stalker, I believe. No, never mind. Oh my god, doesn't lose anything here. So nicely done here by herO. Picks up a couple of Marines, does blink away, and behind this is working towards charge and +1. A standard follow-up out of herO. Going for delayed splash damage. From herO, he can head towards either Storm or Colossus. With the robot on the way, I'm assuming it's going to be Colossus production with the Bay, but we'll see. Until then, it's on herO to contain. As ByuN is working on that SCV count, he's got his third CC. Just muling, making workers. Hasn't landed yet. I mean, cannot. Meanwhile, we have confirmation, so it's going to be Blink into +1 in charge into, indeed, Colossus. No Storm. Not yet. So going for Colossus production. Hallucination does get eyes on the main base. Yep, there we go. Does get eyes on the third CC. Now herO knows. Now he's aware of how greedy ByuN has been. And herO responds with a fourth. Correct response. We're going for a fourth base. As ByuN will eventually expand. He respects the army. Pulls away. Pull away, herO massing up his army. Now that ByuN has expanded at his third base, now he's out in the open. And herO, he's just going for the throat. Does dive in. Nice SimCity here with the bunkers. First tank goes down, the other two, they get a lot of volleys off, but they're being targeted here, down to one tank. One tank left. Colossus wasted shots on... Wait, that's a fake, never mind. I was like, wasted shots on depots. Alas, was a fake Colossus, and with that, ByuN, he will hold, he will defend, he will shut this down. Does cost him some SCVs, does cost him all the tanks, but does hold. Now what's important is that herO, he only lost Zealots there. He mainly traded out Zealots. Did preserve the Stalker count, and he should continue to do so. Trading with the army. Yeah, looking at the losses here, 3 Stalkers went down and 26 Zealots. Behind this, starting up a very real Colossus. Colossus are amassing. And without those tanks, now herO, he's free to do this. Yeah, he's free to just nibble away at the army, nibble away at the Marine count. Dark Shrine is on the way. herO, he's on 4 bases. Now getting a 5th expansion. herO just maintaining map control and just containing ByuN and looking to bully. Ooh, as ByuN moves down, herO's moving in. Yeah, herO, he does hit the 3rd. ByuN out of position. Steering on forward. He wants a Colossus. Colossus, they do pull away. Nice juggling here with the Prism. The Colossus, they just, they annihilate those Marines. Yeah, the Marines, they just melt before the Colossus. Yeah, nice opposition micro out of herO. Boys are being pulled into the Colossus shots. Oh, God. And ByuN, he will lose just far too much here. Once again, nice juggling. He looks like we do save both Colossus. And herO overwhelms. GG gets called. herO, he will take game number 1. Take a lead in the series. He's still playing, by the way. GG. Oh my god. Calm down, herO. Calm down. Yo, ByuN, he tapped out and he stayed in the game and warped in an extra round of Stalkers. Oh my god. Just made sure to purify the third. And with that, GG, herO who will take lead in the series. Again, ByuN, he was being very greedy this game. This is why he was a little bit more passive and more defensive, just because of his greed. herO, he was able to take notice of that, and with that, just contain. Right, just be very assertive with the army, contain ByuN. Behind that, being quite greedy. We did mention that when he stole the third, what did he do? Get a fourth. He took a fourth base, was able to fully saturate on on 4 bases as well, quite quickly. And even though the first wave of attack didn't kill ByuN, he was happy to just trade zealots, to just trade minerals for tanks, for gas-intensive units, and just keep going. Just keep warping in, keep trading. With that, GG, well played. herO eventually did break ByuN, and now we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Torches, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds, leading the series 1-0. And we'll see if he can extend that series and keep that momentum. It is a herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing StarCraft Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. This is live. If it's by replays, it will be in the title. I see some people asking, is this live or via replays? This is live. If we ever do a replay cast, it is typically in the title of the stream, just as a heads up. And likewise, whenever we do a replay cast, the bracket command is usually not working. Usually the bracket command will tell you like, oh, it's, you know, no spoilers, it's a replay cast, so you can always test with that as well. If the bracket command shows a bracket, then it's live. So there's a couple different ways, if you tune in, if you are uncertain, to check for that. Meanwhile, welcome to Torches. Torches is going to be one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, one of the more vetoed maps as well, but in a best of 5, hey, less vetoes, so we're able to embrace some of these more unorthodox maps a little bit more often. With this single gas, it goes for a faster CC on the high ground. So this is going to be an economic start out of ByuN, but because of how assertive herO has been, ByuN will go for a safer economic start. So it means that his base is going to be a little bit delayed as he has to float it over, but it's going to be safer against like Adept Harass. Play herO. Back at home, herO going for a standard opener himself. The probe does survive and is going back in for a rescout, but is going to be found out. And the scout is going to be denied. So ByuN does catch the probe. And from here, welcome one and all to Torches. Torches, again, is one of the more vetoed maps in the map pool. Short rush distance by air, short rush distance by ground. There are some similarities with this map and El Dorado. If you remember El Dorado in the last map pool, where we have these gold minerals, or this gold mineral wall that you can mine through to gain access to the gold patches and the gold bases in the center of the map. Very often in certain matchups, we do see players actually mine through these minerals and expand in such a way and try to rush into these bases. That is usually done from the Terran side in TVZ. This is, I would say, done on the Protoss side in PvT. As we saw in the last game, as we're going into a second Rax, interesting, by the way. If we go for a third Rax, and this does scream 2-base all in, so we'll keep an eye on the Rax count. But as you saw in the last game, it is not uncommon for Protoss players to actually gain a little momentum early on to gain map control, and if they can do that, if they can pull that off, then herO is going to be free to expand and to claim that gold as well. Ooh, eBay gets thrown down before the starport. Again, we're expecting another Rax. Hallucination does confirm the prioritization here of marine production. Likewise, fast tech lab on that Rax, which means fast stim. So very aggressive start here from ByuN. Takes a while to get going, but this will hit like a truck. There's that fast +1. There's also a healing pad, which doesn't come into play too often, but there's a healing pad on the left-hand side. As ByuN does pull away. herO going for a 2-gate opener into a third base. Very economic build here by herO. Bold move, considering the setup that he saw, by the way. Yep, third racks. 2 base all in. I mean, we already saw the fast eBay anyway, but now we have confirmation, and now herO confirms as well. Now, on the one hand, I would say that herO is being quite greedy against this, but he's going for charge, not blink. And these fast charge builds are designed to shut down all-in, specifically tank-oriented all-ins. And it is going to be that. Like, we're building up to like 3-4 tanks, working towards that strong sim timing. Having mass zealots would be a way to overwhelm that kind of army. So here, I mean, he read this well from the beginning. We'll see if ByuN pulls the boys. He will have the option. He'll have the option to pull the boys with this, to help them tank, help them buffer. As ByuN, he's amassing. Stim is almost done. It's soon time to push across the map. It's soon time to commit. For now, he has 2 tanks. He's waiting for his 3rd tank. 3rd tank is on the way. Hallucination does confirm. We do have a starport in production. Now, this starport tells us that looks like ByuN may expand. He may take a 3rd from here. Like, going for a starport and waiting for medevacs, it is going to delay this push. If we are going to wait. No, okay, we're going. We're sending it. Tanks to do on siege. ByuN rallies across the map, and it's go time. It is go time here again. The entire purpose of this opener led to this moment. We have +1, stim, and 3 tanks. And it's on herO to get ready for this. We need those warp-ins. And he does pull the boys. What was the starport for? I was like, if he's in the starport, he might not pull the boys. Nah, we send him. We send it, baby. The boys are being pulled. It's or nothing is making 1 medevac. 1 medevac to support. And now herO, now he's aware, now he knows. Does spot the SCVs. We do have some force fields though. And it's gonna be a clutch hold for herO. Tanks they're pushing forward. I'm loving these Raxes here for ByuN. Widowmine as well. And herO, he's in a rough position. There we go, he's going for it. The unsiege! ByuN does unsiege just at the wrong moment. Maestro goes off. Nice Sim City here with the bunkers. Zealots are charging in. The tanks are going to be targeted down, but the Marines, they're in a slow position here behind the tanks. And the Marines, they will hold. Yeah, the Marines, they will hold on. They will shut down the Zealots. The bunkers, they did well for themselves. Ooh, the Marines get caught out. They barely slip away. Marines slip away. And ByuN, I think he has done it. He does push forward. His tanks, they're still up and running. There's barely an army left. Boys are being pulled, and the Immortal's being targeted down. Ooh, brutal tank shots. And ByuN's done it. ByuN, he has done it. He has pulled this off. Again, here, he wasn't able to slow this down in the center of the map. He wasn't able to stop those bunkers. I think maybe that starport also threw herO off as well when he scattered. But with that, herO, he's done it. Sorry, ByuN has done it, and we are making a series out of this. GG gets called. ByuN ties up the series 1-1. We are going to game 3. Let's go. GG, well played. The series is tied up. Again, herO, he saw everything. He saw everything he needed to. He saw the fast 2nd racks. He saw the eBay. He saw the 3rd racks as well. He saw everything that screamed 2 base all in. The starport threw me off. I might have thrown herO off as well, but herO, he barely wasn't ready for it. If you remember, he actually had a bunch of sentries in the center of the map. It looked like herO wanted to slow the army down with some force fields, but he missed the push. Like he missed the army, and it got past, and the sentries, they had to race back home. It was a little bit messy there. And with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. ByuN, he sent it, he pulled the boys, and now we're going to game 3. Now, as a reminder, this is a best of 5. It is a best of 5. And what were the vetoes? Hold on. So, I was already shocked to see Torches, right? Torches is one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool, so I was shocked to see that. Even more shocked, game 3, we're loading into Last Fantasy. The most vetoed map in the map pool, but we're experiencing it here and now in this best of 5. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner or the right hand side of Last Fantasy, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Representing Twisted Minds, it is herO. And spawning in the top side of Last Fantasy, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. go. I also should commend the army movement of ByuN as well last game. Like, he did a really great job when it came to throwing down his bunkers and of course positioning his marines, kiting back, creating that choke point and making use of it against the mass charge lots. Really well done. And with that, we do have our third game. Oh boy, and welcome to Last Fantasy. Last Fantasy, of course, is a 3-player spawn map. We've been featuring a lot of 3-player spawn maps on this stream, but typically in StarCraft Evolution. In StarCraft 2, we haven't had one of these maps in a very long time. So finally, it is back. It has returned. herO, he scouts ByuN immediately. Meanwhile, ByuN, no SCV scout. No SCV scout, so
are under attack.
ByuN is not aware of the location of herO. Not yet. And we'll see how our players will approach this. Now, when it comes to Last Fantasy, it's definitely a interesting map. There's a lot going on. There's a lot kind of coming into it. It's honestly pretty small. The reason for this is because of all of these air blockers. There are air blockers surrounding everything, and it does make it awkward to go for drop play. To go for Banshee harass, Oracle harass as well. Just air-based harassment can be more awkward here on this map, as herO is being as annoying as possible. We'll delay the CC for like a couple of seconds. But these air blockers do make it a little bit more awkward here to engage and to harass and to be aggressive with those air-based units. On top of that, we have our, of course, speed zones. There are speed zones scattered throughout the center. That does make it a little bit easier to scatter across the map, to engage, to rush in. But another big feature that we did notice as we're going for a Marauder opener, there's that tech lab, is how defensive you can be. To be honest, the entrance towards the natural and towards the third, there's a lot of choke points. You can see here, very narrow choke point coming into the third, likewise a very narrow ramp coming into the third base, even more narrow ramp coming into the natural. We have seen players be quite successful turtling and defending on this map, defending on 4 bases and being able to get into the mid game, into the late game. But we'll see how ByuN will approach this, as again, already does open up Marauder, and ideally wants to catch out the Adept. Adept is heading in. Marauder is revealed. Concussive Shell is done. Oh wait, no, sorry, we didn't research. My apologies. I just with the Marauder open, I just assumed we had a Concussive Shell. The Adept will escape. The Adept will pull away. ByuN does hold. Behind this, do you see what I see? I see a second Rax already. Now remember, what was the sign of the 2-base all-in last game? Second Rax before Starport, eBay and +1 before Starport as well. Basically, whenever you delay your Starport heavily in this matchup, it typically means that we're going for an all-in, that we're being hyper-aggressive, just because you're delaying any kind of drop play, any kind of harassment to focus on marine production to build up your army and to typically commit into an all-in. Not saying that's what this is now, but we're kind of leaning towards that. Yeah, there it is, third Rax. Third Rax before Starport. So we're rushing into Stim. Just like last game, we're rushing into Stim, we're rushing into a marine production, rushing into a heavy army. This time, +1 is delayed. This time, there is no eBay alongside this, but the Oracle will see everything. Ooh, the Cyclone will punish, though. Yeah, it's going to be a one-way trip. The Oracle is going to go down and gets 2 SCVs, but only 2 workers. That is not worth it. Adept does shade in. But this is a rough setup here. We have more Adepts trying to shade, but ByuN holds. Behind this Stargate opener into another Oracle. We were focusing a lot on ByuN, but this was a Stargate opener out of herO, and so far this has not been worth it. I'll be honest, I'm not too fond of the idea of going for Stargates. We spoke about how little rune there is in the air here, and yeah, herO losing that first Oracle is brutal. There's the eBay. eBay before, like, all this before the Starport. All this before Starport, rushing into Stim. Going for another add-on swap. Ooh, no tank production, though. Okay, so this is a little bit different. No tank production. No tech lab. Just mass bio instead. So a very Marine Marauder heavy composition. So this is a different build from last game. Different kind of composition, different kind of aggression. Now, because of the Stargate opener and because of the setup that we've had here, it's going to be later forge, later charge, later upgrades, later +1. I am concerned with herO. Meanwhile, ByuN here, of course, did scouts.
Add-on complete.
Did scout across the map. There we go, add-on swap into medevacs, into reactor and medevac production. So we're going for drop play. Again, the factory was only used for add-ons and the first Cyclone, but only add-ons in the Cyclone. And ByuN will soon move out. Now, bearing in mind, herO, he won't have Blink, so his being able to try to keep up with the drops and shut them down is going to be difficult. We'll have +1 though for his charge lots. Marines are spotted. ByuN will soon move out. And this is going to hit quite hard. It's going to hit very hard. Against only Zealot defense. I mean, there are stasis traps as well, true. There are a couple of stasis traps. Yo, shout out to the tuna. Shout out to Dongwon. Oracle taking a lot of hits. Scan across the map. Reveals the Zealot, so he knows the charge was prioritized. ByuN, he's aware of the charge lots. Consolidating his army. Here, can he make a stand? He does well. This nice stasis. Slowing this down. Here, ideally, he does want to engage out in the open. He's ready for this. Okay, he does dive in. Does go for the dive. Ooh, Marshall goes off. Nice split there from herO. Marshall doesn't get much done. Ooh, and once again does split away. And herO, he will clean this up. He will shut this down completely. Yeah, the mine shots they did with. And ByuN has to get the hell out of here as he gets completely swallowed up, and here he's going to keep pushing. The wall is up. Does have the wall. And ByuN, now he expands. Third TC. He's forced back, forced to expand. ByuN is going to macro out of this, but here he has gained map control. And he might try to force his way in. At the same time, ByuN sneaks out. Uh-oh. Does sneak out. Storm is on the way for herO. Now getting a 4th expansion. But again, you could see how different the engagement was here and how different the dynamic was as well. Whereas in game 1, we saw that these chargers had such a hard time engaging with the army because of all the bunkers, because of the Sim City. Here, ByuN was caught out in the open. Oh, Storm isn't ready. Force the feedback. But again, ByuN, he was torn apart. Here, searching for the drop. He's searching. Coming in from both sides. Oh my god, looking to get a full surround with his charge lots. And ByuN, he can't be out here in the open. He does have a lot of widow mines at least. That will help. And here he commits in. At the same time, ByuN going for a counterattack into the natural. Mine shots, they don't quite connect. Brutal Storm! Oh my god. Yeah, Storm is brutal. Another Storm here on the army. Oh, nice mine connections though on those Zealots. Boys being pulled into the Archon. So many SCVs going to be going down. And back at home here, he holds. He holds the defense. He does have a Warp Pit available. And this is getting out of hand. 30 SCV kills. We're still not done. The Zealots. 33. 34 SCVs go down. At the same time, ByuN is still dropping across the map, still doing what he can. But again, we have those Warpins, we have those reinforcements. Storm comes in. And ByuN, he will defend back at home, but he's down to 24 SCVs. He's down to, what, a 1 base economy, if that. Mules are good, but they're not that good. Ay, ay, ay. As ByuN is holding on with a handful of ghosts. herO, he's on 4 bases. It's crazy. And the soup does lie. What I mean by that is that ByuN, he does have a larger army supply, but so much of that is in medevacs. You can see here he has so many medevacs, and that's where the army supply lies. Not in the attacking forces. Ooh. As one full medevac goes down. Now he's rushing in. herO, he will collapse on this. Oh, EMP goes off. But there's just an overwhelming Protoss army. Yeah, here he will shut this down. Got a lot of medevacs, so there's a lot of micro potential, I suppose. As herO now can make use of his economy. We're bringing more Zealots, High Templar, Colossus production has begun. Getting into Extenthermal Lance. And ByuN trading as best he can. We'll take another storm to the face. Aye, aye, aye. And here comes another storm. Once again on the ByuN. On the Marines. Goes to the warp in. GG gets called as there's nothing left to defend. And herO, he will take game number 3. He'll take a lead in the series. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. Again, ByuN did have an interesting opener, if you recall. He did go for a 3-rack setup before the starport, but no tank production. He went into earlier Marauder production instead. He went for earlier stim, I should say. Went for a more bio-heavy composition. Not going for drop play, but went for one strong bio push. Alas, he got caught in the center of the map. Brutal stasis trap. If you remember, a stasis caught half the army, and then herO moved in and caught the other half. He was able to get a full surround. He was able to shut down ByuN early on and just snowball out of control. It was after that fight that herO pushed in towards the natural and he got, what was it, 34? 34 SCV kills. It was brutal damage, game-bending damage. From there, ByuN, he was just on his last legs. He was trying to pull off maybe an all-in, like maybe herO would be too greedy. Like there was a chance that herO would make a mistake. But in the end, herO was secure, and with that, we're getting into game number 4. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds, leading the series at 2-1. And 1 game away from claiming the series, it is herO. Rocking that SOS portrait. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Down in the series, we'll see if we can fight back here and now and force the ace match. It is ByuN. Going for the proxy 2 racks. Let's go. We see 1 SCV, we see 2 SCVs, so proxy 2 racks Reaper here out of ByuN. Sorry, I say 2 racks Reaper. We have seen herO historically, when I say historically, really over the past couple of months, struggle against proxy Marauder. So I'm leaning towards Tech Labs and Marauders here, but we'll see how ByuN will piece it all together. herO, he is scouting, he's checking, does check the 3rd, and he is rallied over towards the other 3rd location as well. And herO, he will scout, he will confirm the Raxes. Let's go, he does see what's going on, he's aware of the Raxes. Will look to delay, and this is already a rough start for ByuN, as it is going to be 2x Reaper. Okay, so 2x Reaper, but ideally these SCVs, they would have been here to potentially even get a bunker up and running at the natural, but not anymore. The SCVs take a lot of hits. Likewise, the 2nd probe does arrive. He wants that SCV. Won't quite get it. Has to pull away. And herO, he is now getting ready. Now it's going to be up to herO here to micro back his probes, to micro back his units to preserve his mineral line, and to buy time for the Stalker. Oh, for the Adept. There we go. Stalker's on the way. Stalker's on the way. herO responding with his own proxy. Reaper into the main. herO does pull the boys. One of the probes does get low, and again you can see it's up to herO to pull away those weakened workers. As 1 probe goes down, gets 1 probe so far. Stalker has arrived. And herO holds. herO, he will hold. Behind this, ByuN is expanding. ByuN trying to transition out of this. Floating back. ByuN, he has abandoned this proxy. And again, herO responding with his own proxy Stargate. Oh, ByuN is scouting though. Yeah, he knows to scout, he knows to confirm, and he will find this, and he should shut this down. Again, a good response here out of ByuN. Having the wherewithal, and again, it looks like there's some history between these 2 players. After a failed proxy 2 racks, he's like, yo, herO's probably gonna proxy me. Yeah, he does. There's a cancel. So a solid read here from ByuN. As we pull away and we get into a standard game from here. Like after a chaotic start, we can take a breath, we can calm down, we can settle in. Now, because of the failed proxy here from herO, it does mean that his Twilight Council is late. It's going to be a later Twilight Council, later tech out of herO, later blink. This is going to help ByuN when it comes to recovering, when it comes to expanding. Even here is an SOS fan. I mean, I could be mistaken, but I think SOS has the herO portrait. Like, I think there's, you know, there's like a mutual respect between the two of them, despite the history. Oh, meanwhile, now I had assumed that the game was going to progress in a more standard fashion, but herO goes for the Twilight Council into a Dark Shrine. A cheeky follow-up out of herO, very cheeky. We'll see if we can get away with it. And now, of course, we'll see if scans are going to be available. Because the opener was so shaky and because this opener in this game has been so awkward, it does mean that there's a high chance that ByuN is going to be muling his heart out to catch up. That he's going to be muling as much as he can. And if he doesn't hold on to a scan, these DTs, they can wreak havoc. Meanwhile, we have our 3-1-1 setup. Tech Lab is on the factory, making safety cyclones. Bunkers are on the way. So far, we are muling. And there is a bit of like an RNG factor here. When the DTs rock up, is ByuN, does he mule just before that, or does he not? Will he have a scan ready? As of course, there's no Raven, right? There's no Tech Lab on the Starport, so no Raven. No eBay, no turrets. Dark Templar, they're warping in. You know what? ByuN dropping into the main. Can he scout the tech? Probe's gonna be going down and up. He's so close. He does scout the Dark Shrine. He knows. Now he knows to hold on to the scan. This is a big moment here for ByuN. And he's holding on. He's holding on to the scans. And again, even though this Cyclone drop didn't do any economic damage, it didn't do much damage, it scattered the main base, and that's what's important. herO rushing into the gold. Rushing into the gold base. DT has arrived, but again, ByuN, he knows to hold on to the scans. So he has 2 scans available. And this is still a very tense game state. Dark Templar into the main. And you can maybe get... Oh, no, not even. I was going to say maybe get a Marine, maybe get an SCV, but doesn't get any damage. Does force a scan, does a nice mining time. DTs, they drop back in. Oh! And clutch micro there. herO does save. And what's important is that herO's doing everything he can to keep ByuN busy while he rushes into the goal. Like, this is very greedy here by herO. And we'll see if we can get away with it. It's all about just keeping ByuN's attention elsewhere. And so far, it's working. Go. Oh. Now, force back. Ooh, he's going to be forced back. The Prism goes down. Very nice pick off out of ByuN. Yeah, if you're hearing mouse clicks and it's... you're hearing my mouse clicks, papi. Aye. Do apologize. I'll try to move the mic over. The mouse clicks, they intensify. Oh. As ByuN, he breaks out. So herO is still trying to get that goal base up and running. Warping in some charge lots. Charge is done. ByuN is checking. ByuN moves in. Ooh, almost caught unsieged. Almost, he does siege up in time. Immortals have arrived. Do we have enough zealots though? Yeah, brutal wine connection. The tank is going to go down. Takes down the tank. Does so with the Marines. Here he's holding his own. He's holding his own. The goal base is now paying off. The gateway is now done. How many gateways? 8. We have an 8 gate set up on 3 bases. He can warp it 8 zealots at a time. Now taking up into the bay, into Colossus production. ByuN dropping over. He will have a path directly into the natural, or sorry, into the gold. Steps in. Does him in. Does target down as much as he can. They're going 4 or 5 throw kills. And will boost away. Does barely boost away at the same time, going for a drop on the left-hand side as well. Going for a split push. And here, can he keep up? He will clean up at least this army. There we go, gets a medevac. At the same time, Cybercore gets sniped. Cyclone drop back into the main. Here, he will respond. Cleans up the Cyclones. Pushing towards the natural. ByuN, he's racing back home. He does realize he doesn't really have much at home to defend. Yeah, there's not much here. ByuN being overly aggressive. Does have 3 Marines. Does have the bunker. Okay. The army does make it back home in time. Yeah, meanwhile, the mineral line is exposed. ByuN steps in. He does sneak in, getting another what? Getting another 5 probe kills. 5 more workers go down. herO racing back. Trying to catch at the medevac. Oh no! And he will. Yeah, he will catch it. Boost is on cooldown. Ooh, full medevac falls. Rough loss for ByuN. It's one of those things where, yes, he killed 10 probes in total. That is good damage. But because of the goal base, hero's recovering. Like herO, he's going to be recovering that much faster from those losses. ByuN now breaking out. He has a heavy marauder count now. Gross production has begun. herO not quite ready. Nice force fields going down 4 marauders. Big loss there for ByuN. Oh, does snipe an immortal though. Not bad. Where are the zealots? So yeah, second immortal goes down. Heavy losses there for herO. And a bit of an awkward engage, but there are plenty of zealots. There we go. They now arrive. We were waiting for them. Oh. So herO does force back ByuN. Now he's got his Colossus. 4th base getting up. And ByuN is not going to be contained. He's trying to have a presence on the map. But now that their Colossus is being bullied back, yeah, ByuN, it's going to be a tough hold. Kite's back, Ghost are going down. Nice mind shield here on the Zealots at least. Yeah, but there's just too much. There's too much Protoss here. GG gets called. ByuN, he will be broken. And herO will overwhelm. herO, he will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's and for the very first time, a Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO, this is actually his first time competing in our tournaments. Again, we have plenty of regulars like ByuN, like Solar, like Creator, like Zaun even as well, but herO does jump into the pond for the first time, and he is going to be a Royal Roader. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO, as he is going to claim the win here, as he will be our champion. A shout out to ByuN for being a worthy opponent and a worthy rival. Was a very intense, very dynamic finals, of course. Both players that had their own moments, and more importantly, they even had fun with the vetoes. Like, we rarely get to see torches, and even more rare to see Lost Fantasy, and we got to experience them. We got to experience them here and now. So again, really intense games. When it came to that final game, when it came to game 4 on Persephone, again, herO, I mean, it was a very shaky start. If you recall, started with Proxy 2x Reaper at a ByuN. herO responded with his own Stargate, was scattered, was shut down. With that, went into DTs, and the DTs didn't really do much damage, but what's important was that they were able to buy time, able to distract, while herO rushed into the gold. And I feel like the gold base was really necessary, just because it was just a really shaky start for herO as well. So herO, he did get away with the gold base, and yes, ByuN was able to do some economic damage, but not enough to punish the gold, not completely. And with that, herO did overwhelm. ByuN took some rough fights in the center of the map. He got cleaned up, and herO was able to take full advantage of the gold and his 4th and that greater economy. GG. GG, well played. Again, the gold kind of put a timer on ByuN, and with that, herO is our champion. Congratulations. And again, a shout out to all the competitors here tonight. Again, we did have not just herO, but actually we can tidy this up a little bit. Un momento. There we go. We had herO, of course. Fun fact, herO is actually the Solar replacement. Solar, he signed up initially, but Solar, something came up, so he couldn't quite compete. So Solar, he did tap out, and he was replaced by herO. herO kind of stepped in and took the role of Solar. I'll be honest, I was looking forward to seeing some Zerg gameplay today. Never mind. Feels bad, man. Solar, he was replaced by herO at the start of the tournament, and on top of that, if you can see here, Wayne forfeited in the first round. If you remember, we started the broadcast off casting Sig, hoping to follow that into Nickrat and into Wayne as well, but Wayne forfeited, and of course Solar didn't show either. So we casted a lot of TVPs today. a lot of Terran versus Protoss. Unfortunately, we missed out on the Zergs. I say that, shout to Eba. You can see him down here. Eba, he took down Azura, and he took a map off of Creator. So Eba played very well for himself. Likewise, Mixu took down Demi, went up against herO. So they were able to hold their own, and again, shout out to Eba for forcing the ace match against Creator. We missed out on those games, but, you know, well done nonetheless. And of course, we had the favorites here, ByuN and herO. They were the top two seeds of the tournament. I don't want to gloss over this. Shout out to Nickrat, right? Nickrat, if you remember, he almost 2-0'd ByuN. Like, yo, I'm still thinking about that game too. I'm still thinking about Persephone. If you were here for it, I do recommend the VODs. But Nickrat, he almost 2-0'd ByuN. This was almost a Nickrat versus herO finals instead. It was crazy. And likewise, Creator, he also did well in the semis as well. Yeah, again, ace match in both semifinals. We got lucky there. We got lucky. We got fortunate with our matches. Really good games, really good series. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. And hopefully this is the first of many weeklies from herO. Again, this is the first time that herO has stepped into Sparkling Tuna Cup, and that might continue. We'll see. We shall see. Regardless, GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping things up here, and with that, we're done for the time being. I say for the time being, if we have a look at our schedule here, oh, that was also our raffle winner, Azura. Shout out to Azura, the Italian Protoss. Did win the raffle. But checking out our weekly schedule, you can't quite see it here as we just wrapped up our final broadcast for Sunday, but we have another cast at, I believe, 1 AM KST. Hold on, let me just double check. No, sorry, at midnight KST. That's going to be at 1 AM AST in 1 hour. Fun fact, we're going to be live again in 1 hour's time with the FireGrow Cup number 10 playoffs. We just mentioned how Wayne was unavailable here, but Wayne, he should be available for that tournament. Let's quickly have a look at it together, actually. We can give you a tease, man. So yesterday, last night, we were live with the FireGrow Cup group stage. We were actually casting at the same time as Star Zagora. We were live at the time. I remember when we wrapped up, we were going to raid Star Zagora, but they had already finished. So I was like, ah, never mind. Never mind. But here we go. Bam. So this is FireGrow Cup. Again, shout out to MinoVK. Shout out to MinoVK for, of course, hosting this event. This is a monthly tournament for the CIS region. We do feature players from all around, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Kazakhstan, from Belarus. And here we have our top 8 players. It is going to be Strange, Art, Nickrat, UED Soldier, Wayne, Milky Cow, Shameless, and GG Machine. So this is going to be our top 8 players here for the event, and that is going to be taking place in an hour's time. So if you're curious, if you do want to tune into this, tune into some more StarCraft, and we do have you covered. Again, that's going to be in an hour. That will be here on the Cranky Ducklings. We will probably start with Wayne versus Milky Cow. We casted so much TVP in this broadcast. I would like to cover some Zergs. So tempted to go for Wayne, Milky Cow, or for Shameless GG Machine, but I'll probably go for the TVZ. I'll probably go for Wayne and Milky Cow. Initially here in the first round, and then of course we'll be crowning our champion here tonight. And again, a shout out to MinoVK for hosting this event for as long as he has. For almost a year now, has been running these FireGrow Cups, and shout out to all those working behind the scenes as well on that event. So much love to MinoVK. Again, it's been doing a lot of casting, a lot of streaming, a lot of content creation as of late. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up. For the time being. Again, I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to go rest up and get ready for some more StarCraft. Oh boy. When it comes to our schedule, we were also scheduled to do a Little League Cup 40 broadcast, which I believe that is Scarlet versus herO. I believe we have a show match between Scarlet and herO. If if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check. And we also have the Enki Pro Series show match as well. Again, we originally were going to be broadcasting that in 10 hours from now, but STC into Fire Cup into those show matches, that might be a bit much. Like, I don't know how fatigued I'm going to be, so we might reschedule those show matches to next week instead, to be able to sleep before the Wardy TV Monday, because that's also going to be tomorrow as well. So a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you want to support the Sparkling Tuna Cup, if you want to support our regular tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup and Masters 1 Open and all our other events as well, you can do so via Patreon. One moment though. There we go. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund these tournaments that we do host on a regular basis. Unfortunately, we missed out on our events last week because of all the EWC qualifiers, but now we're back on track. And you can see our current Patreon goal. You can see it just under the schedule, just under the graphic. We currently do earn 443 USD via Patreon, and our next goal is at 500 USD. And again, 100% of that money goes towards the players. It all goes towards the prize pool of these tournaments. Fun fact, we do have another stretch goal after this to pay out the casters and to pay out the admins. But until then, it's all to the players. Right now, it's all to the players. All to prize pool, or all to the prize money, I should say. So again, if you want to help support StarCraft and the community and the scene and these tournaments, you can do so via Patreon, as that will be boosting the prize pool of Sparkling Tuna Cup. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And again, we'll see you guys in 1 hour's time for some more StarCraft. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego. Thanks for watching.